I reached down for that $100 bill, and I noticed I had a hole in my pocket. Woo! Now the $5 and the $2 and the singles, they were there. Even a quarter was still in that pocket. But guess what wasn't in that pocket? That $100 bill. Hey fam, I want to tell you about something that happened where, being broke is something that it's frustrating, it's aggravating. And for whatever reason, sometimes no matter what you do, how you try to do it, you try to get yourself out of a situation and it still don't seem to just make it. And here I was, tight on funds. I needed some funds. I took an item that I wasn't planning on selling. I sold it rather quickly because I priced it to sell. Made some hundreds of dollars off of it, right? I'm back on top. Of course, family needs and different things, but I left myself with just enough to make it through until I knew I had some other funds coming in. And I had left that $100 bill. And that $100 bill I had in my pocket. And I went about my day. And when I got ready to place gas in my car, I reached down for that $100 bill. And I noticed I had a hole in my pocket. Woo! Now the $5 and the $2 and the singles, they were there. Even a quarter was still in that pocket. But guess what wasn't in that pocket? That $100 bill. And man, I sold something I didn't want to sell. I gave away funds. I got so frustrated, and I was back at that point before I sold that item. Emotionally, psychologically, I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I just got in my car and I went down the road and I just got frustrated and I just started just mad because I was sick of being sick. I was sick of being tired. You know that broke feeling. If you ain't never been there, keep living. But I was frustrated and I'm like, I've done everything that I could to keep myself out of this situation. I find myself right back in this situation. Then I started saying, why, God? Why me? Why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Whenever I'm trying to come up, whenever I'm trying to do something that's going to benefit not only me and my family, why am I hitting this brick wall? And then my good friend, and you got to have a good friend by your side, says, trust in God. And I ended up talking to God saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was frustrated. You know my emotions. You know my feelings. You know I'm frustrated. And you know I don't like being in this situation. And I ended up saying, Lord, may it bless somebody that found it. May it be a blessing to bless others, somebody that found it. And I let it go, and a couple of weeks went on. And I was at this particular job at this time, and I was working in the store, and the customers, they were in there. This one particular customer, you could tell either she was on something or maybe not altogether. The first time I saw her in the store, she was down the aisle. She was just taking stuff off the shelf, just taking stuff, going through stuff off the shelf. And she had climbed up on this, almost trying to get on the second shelf to reach an item at the top of the shelf. And I said, hold up, ma'am. Hold up, ma'am. I said, ma'am, please. That's why we here. I'm right here. I can help you. I got this. She told me, I got this. I don't need no help. You think I need help? And I realized something wasn't quite right with her. So I backed up, and she ended up taking it off the shelf, climbed up on the shelf and took it off the shelf herself. I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want nothing to fall on her, but she just went and did it herself. And so I walked away. I shook my head. And maybe 20 minutes or so went by, and I ran into the same customer. And I noticed that she was trying to break into a secured section, which it was glass protected and it had locks. And she was acting like she was rattling the facing of the doors, the glass door, and trying to get through the lock. And I said, ma'am, do you need access to that? I can help you with that, right? She's like, no, I'm just looking. She was real kind of just all over the place and frantic. Fast forward, the next encounter, which was my third encounter with this lady, she had taken apart an item off the shelf, taken all the paperwork, the packaging, everything was sprawled over the floor of the store. And she was going through it, and she said she was looking for a certain item. And lo and behold, I talked with her, tried to help her with an item. Her buggy was packed full of random sporadic stuff. And lo and behold, I saw that she had people with her. It was a young boy that I believe that was her grandson. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, she out here in this ray, and she got a child with her. And she told the child, go and pick out one toy, and then just only one, whatever you want, just go pick it out. And I'm like, and this buggy is packed. I mean, it's packed full of stuff, and it's so random. It's all kinds of stuff. It's just pouring out. They got the eggs on the bottom in the bottom of the basket. They got yarn. They got electronics. They got all kinds of stuff just all in this basket, man. It's random like crazy, almost like her brain went into a basket. So I went and I helped her with some other items, and she was all over the place. And I'm like, Lord, be with this woman. Then I think her daughter walked up to her. So she was with her family. And evidently this lady, she went to tell me that her dad had passed, and she's been going through it. And it's been real rough on her. She's been suffering with anxiety, depression, and she just been having a hard time. And she went on to say all of that, and people was like, man, you had patience where ain't nowhere in the world I would have had no patience. But I don't know. I just with people, man, people pour out their heart to me. They tell me things, and I listen. And I just thought about it, and I said, man, God be with her. But I really felt like she was hooked on something or high on something, right? And then she went on about her business. And later on, I worked throughout the night, and then I noticed on the shelf there was a cell phone. And I took the cell phone off the shelf, and I reported it to our claims department and let them know there was a missing cell phone. And for some reason, I said, this is probably that lady's phone. Some just tell me it's this lady's phone. Later on into the night went on, and I just so happened to be in the front of the store, and I was talking to one of my managers, and she came through, and she started talking to my manager, and she was explaining she had lost her phone. I said, I found your phone. I said, I thought that was your phone. Oh my God, you found my phone. She was like, oh, she was just all over just like she was earlier, all over the place. She was like, thank God. Those are the only pictures I have. The only pictures of my father I have is on my phone. My phone is everything. You have no idea what this phone meant to me. You have no idea what this phone meant to me. And she went on. She went to get her phone. And she said, thank you. She came back to me. She said, thank you. And she placed $100 bill in my pocket. And she said, thank you. And that $100 bill reminded me of that $100 bill that I lost just maybe over a week ago. And I thought everything was gone. And I didn't know how I was going to get to that point, that I was already there, and I was already better, in a better situation and good at the time when I got that 100 back. And the first thought in my mind said, look at God. God is still on the throne. My God. So I'm saying all this to say is, you might be going through some rough spots and period of time, and it seems like everything in your life that you're trying to do is not working. And it seems like the forces are against you. but you've been doing the right thing. You've been trying to do the right thing. You ain't hurt nobody, and you want to give up sometimes on humanity and just the way that this wickedness of the earth is. Don't give up. Don't give in. Keep pushing through, because God is still on the throne, and God is still with you, loves you, and protects you. And please, please don't give up, because God is still on the throne, my friend. So y'all be well, be blessed, and don't forget to keep on growing. Grow.